Welcome back to How to Buy a Home video guide with Keystone Alliance Mortgage. And in case you're just tuning in, know that in the description we have the other videos from the beginning of the process when you are just starting to look into buying a house and what are the things you need to know, you need to do, and you need to understand. Now we have all gotten to, if you're following along the whole time, you have found a house that you are in love with, or it's the perfect house for what you need right now. You've gotten pre-approved, and now you found that house. You're going to write an offer with the real estate agent that you've been working with, and you're going to sign it, and it's going to get sent off to the seller, and the seller then is going to decide if they're going to accept your offer, they're going to counter back, and you have to decide if you're going to accept what they counter back at. But once it's all put together, signatures are on it, that means you are under contract. You have found a house and they have given you the amount of time on the sales agreement to get your financing in order. So you're coming back here to Keystone Alliance Mortgage, and now we're going to start the actual application process. And I know sometimes people are like, what do you mean start the application process? I thought that's what we have been doing. So you got pre-approved when we looked at what you qualified for. Hopefully you sent in your documents like we talked about, and we've been able to look over and make sure all that information is correct, because it will take a lot of stress off of you right now because you're going to have a lot of things on your checklist to get done. The number one thing when your offer gets accepted to be aware of is that you have certain time frames that you have to watch to protect yourself. So the biggest thing that you need to be aware of right now is the time frames that protect you. You need to make sure that you are aware of what you need to do and in what time frame. So when the contract is signed by the last person, you need to look at the sales agreement, have a copy of it, and read through especially those first 2 to 3 pages. And it's going to tell you your timeline for things, such as it'll have the closing date on there. Just for a little bit of background knowledge, the average time that it takes for a home buyer when they go under contract to get to closing, the national average is about 52 days, which seems like a really long time. And it can be. There are lenders who can close loans a lot quicker than that, but there's some things that nobody knows going into the process that we will go over as we walk through the rest of the steps here, so that you're aware of them in case you have a contract that, let's say, is 30 days or quicker than that, so you know the things just to be aware of. The things you need to watch for timeline now is you will have so many days to apply for the mortgage. So let's say it's 10 days. If you have 10 days, those are calendar days. So on that 10th day, if you don't make full loan application, which means you meet with your loan officer, and that can be on the phone, that can be in person, decide on the loan program that you're going to go with. The lender picks the rate that you guys discuss, and then you say, yep, that's what I want to do. Go ahead, send the disclosures. That's applying, and then everyone gets notified you've applied. If you don't do that by the 10th day, you put a deposit down. So when your offer gets accepted, there's a little spot that says, I'm going to give you, seller, this money. And that can be, I've seen it as low as $500. I've seen it as high as $10,000. So you're going to give that seller a deposit, a good faith deposit, saying, hey, you're going to wait for me to go do this mortgage process, and I'm going to give you this money. And if I don't meet these requirements, like applying within 10 days, this is no longer a valid contract, and you could lose that check that you wrote. So that's why it's so important. So you've got your application for your loan application. You've got your home inspections, which is where you're going to go back to your real estate agent. They're going to let you know who are the good inspectors that they like to use. You have so many days to have your home inspections done. And depending on the loan that you choose, home inspections are not mandatory. They are optional. With certain loans, like government loans, FHA, USDA, and VA, there are some required inspections. So make sure you check with your lender to find out what inspections you have to have done and which ones you do not have to have done, because they can start adding up to quite a bit of money depending on if you need them or not. And then the last part, so once you apply for your mortgage, you're going to get an email, and that email is going to be from like EaseDocs or DocuSign, and it's electronic disclosures that the lender needs you to sign before they can move forward and do the next steps, which those next steps we're going to go over here, and I'm going to walk you through what they are, but you have to sign that. And one of the things that I see happen sometimes is we'll discuss with a buyer the type of loan they want, the interest rate, how much everything's going to be, and we provide them with the estimate and what it looks like. The lender that we place the loan with, they don't have your loan yet. They can't even get your loan until you sign this. So some of the information that they're going to send you electronically is not going to be 100% accurate. The numbers might not be correct because they don't have your file yet. So it's just a starting point, and it's that you're giving permission for that lender to start working on your loan and on your file.